Hey, it's Pete with the Small Business Resource Center and the Small Business Resource Center YouTube channel. I'm going to go over relative information about the APE conversion back to AMC and the AMC reverse stock split. This is relative information from the Security Exchange Commission. The Form 8K, which you're looking at right now, was referenced by Adam Aaron and available online. I'll put a link in the description to AMC's 8K for anybody who wants to look at it directly. But I kind of condensed everything that I reviewed so you can see what is going on. So I'm basically skipping to page 4. Page 4 says since their lawsuits are finished, the Delaware Chancery Court has approved the conversion based on these terms. And what they did is they filed their amendment so they can continue with the conversion. Um, that being said, on the 24th is when all this is going to happen. Now, there's two dates, but they really are, this is the date the conversion is going to happen. But the two dates are the common stock for a preferred equity, is going to be converted back to AMC because there's two lines here, the additional details. And then the 10-to-1 split is going to occur. So that's one of the most important things. This is going to happen on the 24th. So if you don't own any AMC or APE on the 24th, you're not affected by this. And then, of course, APE no longer exists on the 25th. That's a short story right there. Okay, and then they said there's a settlement and everything has to go through, of course, the litigation of the settlement. Now we just skip to other relative data. Who receives litigation payments with the settlement? And that means if you own AMC on the 25th, then you will be getting 24th is when they record it. Then you will be getting settlement payments. So, of course, it might take a couple days. Shortly after the 28th is when you'll get your settlement payments. And that's basically a 1/7 share for every share that you have. And there will be no partial shares being issued, by the way. That's something that was there. Okay, and now they have an example of how the reverse stock split and the shares owned. What if I own 100 shares of AMC and 100 shares of APE? On August 24th, the 100 AMC shares would become 10 shares of AMC, and the 100 shares of APE will be converted into 10 shares of AMC after the reverse stock split. And then, of course, you'll get your prospective litigation settlement on the 25th. So if you hold, in this example, 20 total AMC shares now on or about the 28th, then based on the 10 shares, you'd receive one additional share of AMC because it's 1/7. It's actually 7.5 shares, but there's no fractional shares that are going to be issued. So, of course, if you have 1,000 shares, yeah, you won't get one share. You'll get more than that, or 700 if it's 1/7 technically, 7.5. So when you're looking at that, no fractional shares will be issued. So here it says, will the reverse stock split and conversion affect trading prices of common stock? It says they can't predict that, which new shares of prior to the reverse split for comparable New York Stock Exchange price is multiplied by 10. So they're not saying whether it can go up or down. And how will litigation settlement payments affect options contracts? It's like people who are options or shorting. It says they don't determine and is unable to provide data on that. How will the reverse stock split and conversion affect options contracts? And it says, of course, will be adjusted in a regular way. So when you're looking at that, I just did a Google search to try to come up with some information. And let's see, it says, will short sellers be required to cover? AMC expects that the deliveries under Stock borrowing arrangements will be adjusted in a regular way. That means actually they're not forced to cover. I know in the past people were saying that they are forced to cover because there's a new QSIP number and everything. But according to what I researched, for the New York Stock Exchange, where short sellers be required to cover their positions before a conversion. And the answer is that it actually says it doesn't affect it in a material way. They actually don't have to cover. So the reason why they might want to cover is if the price goes really high. But I'm going to go over that in a moment and giving you my opinion, not financial advice, not any decisions to buy or sell. By the way, I do own AMC stock. I've owned quite a bit of AMC stock, and I did buy it much higher than it is right now, just so you know. And it says, are short sellers forced to cover if preferred stock is converted? And of course, this is information I'm looking up online, does not necessarily mean it's true. It says when a convertible preferred stock chooses to convert to their common stock, the stocks they receive are newly issued. This is a total number of common shares. Because the number of common shares increases while the value of the company remains the same, the value of existing shares goes down. Not necessarily true, but do short sells have to cover? Okay. Yeah. What are okay? So basically, according to this information, there's no instance where these short sellers will be forced to cover. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you what I looked up because other people said they are forced to cover. And I'm going to give you my opinion in a minute. So here's the key dates. Um, Reverse stock split occurs. Litigation settlement is paid. It's on the 24th. APE is no longer being used, so it's AMC only. And then, of course, you get your litigation settlement payments on the 28th or shortly after. Okay. Now, here's one of the most important things. It says, upon effectiveness of the charter amendments, the company also intends to initiate on the market program the issuance and sale of up to 25 million shares of new Class A common stock. So I like AMC, don't get me wrong. I understand what they're doing. But in the short term, my opinion, this is not financial advice. You're going to issue that many sales on the market. Chances are this is going to dip down a little bit. How much? I don't know. But that's quite a quite a bit of shares. And I think it could only be like, in my opinion, maybe like a quote unquote flash crash might last a little while, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a day. It doesn't have the time. It says on the market. So I would have to think, in my opinion, this is going to dip down a little bit, and then eventually, my opinion, it's going to go up. But the question is how far it's going to go up. So this is going to be very, very, very interesting day, and I will be in front of my computer. So it's not financial advice, but this is a very, very interesting thing that's going on. It's Pete with the Small Business Resource Center and the Small Business Resource Center YouTube channel. Ape Strong. I believe in the company. I believe in what they're doing. Um, but let's see what happens. Have a great day.